All right, good morning. Hello, 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 hello. Let's see if I can find oh, there it is. My little stand for the Instagram live that we're going to do. And yeah, good morning. What's the practice we're going to do today? Let me get the book. The book. The book. I have the book. Okay, good. We're going to do a class that it's all about creating a lot of space. There is some backbendy kind of stuff going on, but it's more about creating spaciousness in the core. As I look through the write-up, I just kind of open the book and I'm like, oh, what are we going to do today? And then I don't look at it. Hard to believe. But yeah, we're going to do a class that creates space, and it's about integrating all the parts of yourself today. The parts of yourself that you don't like, the parts of yourself that are resistant. And I actually encourage you today to, when you bump up against what you believe you can and cannot do, like, take a deeper breath, or I should probably get the Instagram thing going. What are the things that you believe about yourself today? Like, what are the things that you believe about your practice? Like, that you can and cannot do, that you will and will not do. And why? There might be a valid reason. Might be a damn good reason. And I encourage you to explore that today in today's practice. Live. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I encourage you to explore that in today's practice. And feel through why it is, when you bump up against doing something, why you don't want to do that. Like I said, there may be a very valid reason, but to get intelligent and to use your breath to create some intelligence and some different feeling and some understanding around that in a very compassionate way is really important, in a non-judgmental way. Like, oh, well, I should be doing that. Well, that's maybe not the approach. What we want to do is use the breath as a tool to investigate that point of resistance. It might be here, it might be somewhere in the body. It might be a sticky place, or, a cranky shoulder or something like that. It could be anything. But give yourself the opportunity today in your practice to explore why. So you can start to integrate those parts of yourself along with the parts that are like always on board. The things that are the things that you can do and feel comfortable doing. So exploring the belief system about what you can and cannot do, who you are and who you are not, and just using the breath as your tool as a way in. So I invite you today in today's practice, every time you find that point of resistance or that place in the body that's not really engaging, to use the breath, feel through why that is, and you might not come up with an answer. Maybe just asking the inquiry is enough. All right, so let's build some spaciousness into the core to create some space to find our way in. And we'll start with wrist stretches. Like I said, I've been doing them in a standing position using a golf ball. You can do them in a sitting position. Cross-legged is totally fine. So I'm going to go ahead and pop on. And again, these practices are my personal practice time that I'm sharing, and I'll write the sequencing up later. You're welcome to do them at any point. I don't care. That's up to you. It's your thing. But if you have any medical conditions, that might be a point of resistance that you need to actually explore in a very responsible and self-caring way by getting permission to do them, or feeling around what's the right thing for you. If you want some different modifications than what I'm offering, always comment or question me. You can send me an email at lisa.loring@gmail.com, and I can provide some options for you. And we could even set up like a session like online or something like that, where I can show you what to do. All right, so let's get started. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and get started in my wrist stretches. Sometimes in Forrest Yoga, and this is a Forrest Yoga practice, in Forrest Yoga sequences, they don't do the wrist stretches at the beginning, but I always do, because it opens my heart and my hands, and because I'm using a golf ball, that really, really helps to open my hands. So actually, I'm going to start in stage 1 with the left hand forward, grabbing pinky finger. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, pull back on pinky finger. Inhale, take a hold of the ring finger. And exhale, pull back. And prior to, I'm just going to keep working each digit. I encourage you to. I'm just going to give you a little backstory here. Prior to practice, I did some sidewinder. I did windmill with the legs, both knees bent and extended. I didn't do them on camera just to condense what we're doing here, but you're welcome to visit any one of the other videos where those are included in the sequence written up to see how those are done. Inhale, grab a hold of the thumb. I'm moving on to the thumb. You may be on a different finger. But explore what finger you do need to do to make sure you do get them all. Or maybe you don't need to do all of them. Explore why you think you need to, right? Switching hands. Forrest Yoga practices are also done in a heated environment. I am very overdressed compared to most Forrest Yoga teachers right now because my house is not 85 degrees. It is like 68 probably down here, maybe 70. As we are approaching winter in the Northern Hemisphere, and I live in the Washington, D.C. metro area, just outside, just on the Beltway. If anyone knows where Strathmore is, well, that's where I live, in Bethesda, Rockville area. All right, stage 3 wrist stretches. So those are stage 1. Stage 3 is actually, here I do stage 2 once I get on the floor. But again, does it matter? There is a genius to the sequencing that we do in Forrest Yoga. There is a point to it. It's all designed to build intelligently on one another. But there are points in it like here where I think I can, make up a little change, right? So that's the kind of belief systems you want to look at, oh, why am I doing this? This actually works better for me. So in stage 3, we're inhaling, pushing the palms out to the edges of the room. And then exhale, pull pinky finger, ring, middle, index finger, thumb wraps around, knuckles roll to floor. And then inhale, was a stage 2 to a stage 2, phase 2, I guess. Palms forward. And then the thumb comes in, exhale, index, middle, ring, pinky, and then knuckles roll up to the edges and down to the floor. All right. Coming into a sitting position, and I am going to return back to my socks. Back to my socks. Darling, it's better when my piggies are warmer. All right, so coming into stage 2 wrist stretches, and I'm going to do them in Baddha Konasana, but any comfortable sitting position is appropriate for you here. You can even do them in standing. For people who have mobility issues and can't, sitting down isn't appropriate, you can do them in standing, on a table, just as long as the shoulder heads are back and down and you're pushing down through the legs. That'd be an option, right? So fingertips are on whatever surface is in front of you. Palms lifted, thumbs reaching. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the palms towards the floor. I'm pulling my belly back and down. I recommend that for support. That would give you that leg action I just described earlier if you were doing it standing. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Let's do one more like that. Staying up and lifted in the chest. You can see I kind of got more into that probably in the 3rd round. All right, Shivananda breath, which is basically breath of equal parts, but it's more of a breath of filling up till you're comfortably full, holding that breath until it's no longer comfortable to do so, and then exhaling until you're comfortably empty. Then holding the breath out until you're comfortably needing to get, when that breath needs to come in. It doesn't need to be a point of desperation. It's a point of, oh, I need to breathe in now. So this is a breath pattern that actually does teach you to examine your beliefs and helps you understand what's right for you. Let's begin. Feet are active, legs are active, feet pushed together if you're in Baddha Konasana. Exhaling till I'm comfortably empty, and then inhaling when I need to. Actually, I'm going to hold the breath out until I feel like I'd like a breath, which is now. And holding the breath when I'm comfortably full, and I've done that. And then I've exhaled. Now I've held that breath out, so now I'm going to breathe in. Into that full, easy place. No, not overly stuffed. I'm holding the breath here. Now I need to breathe out. Keeping the breath out, as long as it feels comfortable. And then breathing in. So this would be a variation that I'm going to do in the next round. I'm going to actually take a little more breath in than I feel is comfortable and explore if that edge, expanding that edge is actually appropriate. Holding the breath in for maybe longer than that comfortable spot. And then letting the breath out. And there's a bunch of things that are coming up that are like, well, why do I feel I need to do that? But it's all about exploring what those edges are and get an understanding about what's right for you. Expanding and understanding those belief systems in the small things, and that translates obviously to larger things. And if your go-to is always to take more in, maybe take less. Is that? All right, let's let that go and keep exploring, keep pushing, kind of working, I wouldn't say pushing, but just kind of working around in that arena. Seeing what makes sense in the moment, being really present to what's going on in the moment to inform what you do need in that moment. Right? What actually, and it might be something you hadn't thought of. All right, seated side bend in shoelace. The bottom leg can be extended in a half shoelace, or maybe you're in a cross-legged position with the left leg in front. And again, this is my practice that I'm sharing, so I'm not going to mirror image as I normally would in a class. So I'm putting my left leg on top. It may look to you that I have my right leg, but it's actually left. All right. Seated side bend to neck release. Anchor, yeah, anchor the left hand down. It's going to go to the right, but I'm going to go left. Reach right arm up. And gathering in information about where you need to support the body. Support the shape that you believe in, that your body believes in and feels right for you. Figuring out why that shape feels right for you. Use the breath to create these investigations, these curiosities, and approaching it from a perspective of curiosity. The Forrest Yoga moves are a great way to start, wrapping the shoulders, tucking the tailbone, even in a position like this. Active feet. Maintaining curiosity, using support systems so you can feel like a child, fine enough to be curious, right? Neck release pose. Lower the top arm down, palm down now, about a foot off the floor. Palm is below shoulder height. And although I'm telling you to do these in this particular way, maybe there is a different way that's right for you. Relax the neck, relax the jaw. Checking in on the quality of the breath and the supports that you're giving yourself. To safely explore. So like I said, I was a child, like, you have to, if we don't have the right support systems, we don't feel okay to get curious and like investigate and look around, right? We're in survival mode. How can we be in like thriving, like interested mode? Heart mode, going with what your heart wants, not what the next thing is that's going to get you by, right? And come out of the pose. Reach through the right arm. Use your left hand to pick up your head. All right, let's do the other side. Change the cross of the legs. I showed you the options before. Right hand on the floor, inhale, left arm up. So we move from side to side of the body. That's another place to investigate the belief system. Like, do you believe that you have to do the same position in the same way from side to side? Because that may not be true, and that may not be what your body needs. What's up, Cece? Hi, honey. What you doing? Do you believe this is a side bend, or do you believe this is more of a spine extender? The more we extend the spine, the more it actually will bend. The secret of the back bend, it's actually back extension. Neck release position, lower the left arm, palm down, hovers just above about a foot off the ground. And it's in line with the shoulder, but below the line of the shoulder. Make sense? Whatever doesn't make sense, question, right? Definitely send me an email. Those of you who know me well, you can probably have my number. You can shoot me a text. Comment. I will answer. See, honestly. To come out of the pose, reach through the left arm. Use right hand to pick up head. I might put that camera in a different place next time. Do I believe it needs to be there in the moment? Yes. Not so much now. Oh, CCC, what's going on here? Okay. Because these are unedited, that's what's going on. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to position this in a different place next time. For those of you who have cats and love cats, you don't have a problem with this. For others who don't understand it, it is what it is. All right. So, I'm going to pause the video here. Actually, I'll just let it go. It is what it is. I'm not editing anything. This is an edited life. Life isn't edited. And there we are. Okay. Feel better, Cease? You feel better, honey? Okay. Do you want to go outside? Go outside. There you go. Now you want to go outside. All right, so Star Spiral Pulse is the abdominal moves that we're going to do today. The Star Spiral Pulse can feel a little complex to some people. The cueing is a little subtle, so if you want to watch me for a couple of rounds and then join in, there will be plenty to do. So if you want to come on, actually just make sure before you come down, I always make sure I have my other props around me when I need them, blocks, straps, all that good stuff today. So, because we're going to be working in wave dancer later on, so you'll definitely, that reminds me, we'll definitely want to have some kind of a rolled up mat like we use in Forrest Yoga. We use like old yoga mats and we'll roll them up from their lengthwise position in thirds and then roll them from end to end, securing them with a strap. You can use a blanket, which is a little friendlier for most people who don't understand Forrest Yoga moves and things like that and really aren't prepared to have the confrontation of a roll in your tummy, because some people might, I use the word confrontational, they might feel that it is, and they're not quite ready for that. So do what's right for you, okay? We'll work with wave dancers, so have that to the side. In Star Spiral Pulse, we actually don't use that, but we'll work from Star Spiral Pulse to abs with a prop. I'll give some other choices, and then straddle lifting through is what's on deck. So coming into Star Spiral Pulse, come onto the back. Interlace hands behind the neck with elbows pointing straight up. Heidi Sormez recently posted a really great little instructional how-to. You don't wing the elbows out because this really isn't supportive to the neck, whereas this is. But this doesn't mean that you're cranking the neck up. You're actually using the abdominals to lift the upper body off the floor, not the strength in the muscles in the neck. So Star Spiral Pulse. Interlace hands at the base of the skull, point elbows straight up to the ceiling. Pull the low belly into the floor to feel the back get flat. That's where you want to go, with the sacrum tipping out into the floor, open to the floor, and the low back ribs on the floor. Exhale, take another breath in. This time, hold the breath, curl pubic bone up, finding that tuck of tail. Exhale, reach right leg to ceiling, lift shoulders, reach elbows left. Pause here, take a breath in. I'm going to do a down level version. And then as you exhale, turn the thigh inward rotationally. That's not even a word, but feel the thigh bone rolling in the hip socket, reaching up through the heel. So you're kind of juicing the thigh. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, reach left leg to ceiling, turn elbows to the right knee. Pause here, breathe in. And then exhale, pull the low belly down again and begin that juicing action of the inner left thigh rolling in. The femur bone rotating inside the hip bone, reaching up through the heel. Inhale, come back to center, bend both knees, hold breath, curl tailbone up. One off breath, exhale, reach right leg to ceiling and find that juicing action. The right buttock is moving forward, and then you're reaching up through the thigh, so you're really stabilizing the hip on the ground. Inhale, come back to center. Hold breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, reach left leg up, same action. Left thigh bone is lengthening up, but the buttock is pushing forward, so the hip is on the ground, and you can really get that juicy action. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about how when you have the support that you need, you have the freedom to be curious without it being a freak out. You can go and be curious and explore your boundaries, explore your belief systems, explore the things that you think and know to be true in a way that allows those to, maybe some parts of them to still be true, but then you can grow into other directions. But you can only do that when you stabilize in other parts, where you anchor into the parts of the foundation that you really are solid on and do make sense, like supporting the body, supporting yourself with breath. So for the next few rounds, I'm not going to call them out. I'm going to support myself with my own breath. You can follow along. Okay, except for I have a cat that needs to go out. Oh, poor Cece's coming in. Somebody's coming in, somebody's going out. It's always with that. Okay. So that gave you enough time maybe to go back and look at some of the other two rounds. All right. So I will call out one just because we had that little interruption. Let's bring us back. Inhale. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, reach right leg up, elbows are up and moving left. And we're juicing that leg. All right, so let's keep going from here on your own. Create that space in the core. And that's part of what the hippo moving forward and then reaching up to the leg helps with. Release into whatever space you're creating. And using the breath to help those new belief systems, those new space for growth, actually creating new space for growth so belief systems can change and grow. Oh, but I'm afraid of change. Yeah, I know. Abs with a prop. So I recommend working with either the rolled up mat here or with a block, foam block between the thighs. What's considered an up level, but for me is actually a therapeutic move, is to take a block between my inner ankles. This is an extra move, not necessary, but for me, I need that for therapeutic things that are going on in my core. I need something to have to hold on to with my feet. Although you might have a cork block or wood block, these are less friendly to the inner thighs. But, if that's what you got, that's what you got. You can also use a rolled up blanket or pillows or stuff like that, right? And actually I saw, on Instagram, she did these with a paper towel roll. Good God, hilarious. Take a deep breath in, abs with the prop. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, squeeze on with the legs. Exhale, lift shoulders, pull belly down, reach through the legs. Inhale, lay shoulders down. Hold breath, curl tailbone up, squeeze the prop. Exhale, lift shoulders up, pull belly down. Inhale, lay shoulders down. You can feel with the action of the leg that you are lengthening the back, creating more space between the ribs and the pelvis. Inhale. Hold breath, curl tailbone up, squeeze prop. Exhale, lift shoulders up, squeeze the prop again, pull the belly down, curl the tailbone up again. Right? There's that space. Breathe in, lay down. Hold breath, curl tailbone up, squeeze prop. Exhale, pull belly down, curl the tailbone up again, reach to the legs, pull belly down. Do 3 more on your own. and sit the feet down. Let's do straddle lifting through. Straddle lifting through can also be done as frog lifting through. I'm just going to shift around a little bit. I'm on a carpet. If you're shifting at all to avoid furniture or what have you in your house, make sure you have your some support underneath your back. So again, a frog lifting through version would be, is frog the only word for this? Yep, it's straddle. It is. So it can be done as frog lifting through with the feet out to the side, heels in line with knees always throughout the entire move, right? You're working straddle, extend both legs. Interlace hands at base of skull, deep breath in. Lift shoulders. Exhale, pull belly down, reach through the legs. From the buttocks to the heels, so reach the buttocks forward and then out through the heels. Inhale. Exhale, curl tailbone up, reach to the legs. Buttocks are reaching forward, reaching out through the heels. The back line of the legs super active. Belly down again. Go at your own. Feel like you're creating space by reaching more through the legs, creating that space in the waist. And it really is the reach of the legs, not really working the shoulders. You're wrapping those. One more time. To come out of the pose, lay chest and shoulders down. Help the legs back together with hands, bend knees. Now, I only keep my socks on to be warm. I know that doesn't show the active feet move very much, but I need to be warm. So I believe that firmly. And that helps my body stay warm and pliable and workable and all that good stuff. So there we are. So working with bridge, and then we're going to be working with bridge with a lobster claw. I think I'm going to keep working with my roll today. It's not something I wrote down originally, so this is, again, do I believe I need to follow that to a T? No, I don't. I believe I need to do what's right for my body today, right? Work with the, and I believe I've got to let my cat in. One of the cats, there are 4, so they're constantly all up to everything, all the time. Hi, Pete. Did you have a good time outside, Rennie? Did you have a good time? I believe I'd like a drink. All right, so I'm using also a blanket to support my neck because that's what I need. I'm in school, so I do a lot of computer work, which has done not awesome things to my neck, which is part of why I'm working through injury. There you go. So, block, prop, whatever between thighs if you're using that. Doesn't have to be if you don't want to. Heels are on the floor right under the knees, just to the outer edge of the hips. Reach your hands back to find that alignment. And then let palms go, let arms go, palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, spread toes, activate the calves. You'll feel the butt want to lift already. Exhale, now lift up, pushing through the heels, lifting up through the pelvis. Reaching, letting the buttock muscles, the hips feel heavy towards the floor, but then scooping the pelvis up. You can go ahead and lobster claw it now if you want, but bring the elbows in quite close to the body. Wrap fingers around the hip points of your pelvis. And the thumbs are actually around the back side. Using the hands to help move the pelvis away from the rib cage. Standing sturdy in the legs to support that. Like there's that foundation. How can you use your hands to steer your pelvis in a way that creates opening? Allows you to breathe into the areas of stagnancy, restriction in the body, to explore them. So just extra stability with the arms and the hands. May allow that exploration today. To come out of the pose, exhale to lower down, pushing down through the heels so the body and the torso come down with ease. Spine stays long, pelvis still stays at a good distance from the ribs, as opposed to a bad distance. Roll over to your side, push into the ground to come up. And again, for those of you who join me on Instagram Live, I do not interact, but like I said, take a look later. The sequence will be there for you. All right, so dolphin. Let's move this to the back. With one arm behind the back, one leg up. Maybe one leg up. We'll see. I think this is where I have to lose because this is pretty slippy. We're good. And I can still stay warm. All right, interlace hands, bring elbows to the floor right under the shoulders. Grab upper arms to measure distance for full dolphin. Toes are curled under, knees are under pelvis. If you do not feel comfortable being this close to the floor for whatever reason, number one, check that out. But by all means, the option is to work a version of, this is actually dog. It's just not like the downward facing dog. It's like a prep stage. So the hands are under shoulders, palms push against floor, wrap the shoulders, elbows roll in, right? And you're pushing down against the floor with the knees, with the toes, with the palms, working the core, breathing spaciousness and length. If that's an appropriate move for you today, that's a great modification. You can just stay here with the hands wrapped around upper arms in that dolphin prep measurement move. Bigger moves are to swivel the arms forward, interlace fingers if you have a shoulder injury. If not, you can also separate the forearms and palms. Palms are down on the floor. Dolphin. Take a deep breath into upper back. Exhale, draw shoulder heads back, wrap shoulder blades forward to the chest, pull low belly up, back, feet push down. You can stay here or go further, lifting knees, pelvis comes off the floor. Deepen the breath. Relax the neck. What are the other muscles that you can turn on that may not respond quite as readily because they're sleepy? I actually do need to take this shirt off. But there's other muscles besides the neck that you may or may not believe exist, but do. And you can use for a better support system than the tiny ones in your neck that are way overworked, right? So let's see what we have. Can I put my shirt on backwards? Maybe. Maybe not. What do you think, Vesper? All right, let's see what we got. So I'm coming back to the pose, setting myself up for success. Same moves. Wrap the shoulders forward, tuck the tailbone, reach back for the feet, back and down. Dolphin wrap one arm. Walk feet float closer to the face. If you need to take a break between the different moves, please do. Stay relaxed in neck. Work chest muscles instead. One arm behind back. Anchor into left arm. Reach right arm behind the back. You can grab a piece of your clothes. Breathe the collarbones forward, turning on chest muscles. Let go in the neck. Turn on the back muscles, the chest muscles, the legs. Let go in something that's actually tight and not working. And see what happens. That's a challenge to your belief systems. And release. Bring the right arm to the floor. Anchor into the right arm. Reach left arm behind the back. Find a wrap. You can grab onto your clothes for stability. Now I believe that my right ribs are collapsing to my hips. So I'm going to breathe more into my right waist. Let go in my neck. Turn those right chest muscles on more. Push down through the palm, the forearm. Bypassing the shoulder. Release. Lower the left forearm to the floor. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lower down to the knees. I didn't lift one leg up in that, but that is an option. You could lift one leg up and then the other. I don't believe I need to do that today. Pretty good. Agnisara and horse stance. We'll do it with arm passes today. Glad I took my shirt off because this one's always going to warm you up. All right, horse stance. Feet are about 3 feet apart. Bend knees, tuck tail. I've been doing I don't know why. I think it's because of all the computer work. But I'm coming into horse stance nonetheless. Left palm on top of right. Tuck tail, sit up tall. So it's not a leaning forward action. We're sitting up tall. Inhale, draw hands up through the center line of body. Reach them up, palms up, exhale. Work Agnisara. And actually, I should lift my shirt so y'all can see what's going on with my tummy. Do that yourself. Open up the space in your tummy so you can see what's going on. Like you might want to take a look down because sometimes when you pay attention with your eyes, when you look at what's really going on, you might actually get some action. All right, inhale. Get the right action. Inhale, arms to the side, palms center. Exhale, push out. Inhale, reach arms up. Bring palms to center, push forward. Inhale, palms to center. Exhale, push down. One more time. Inhale, come up the center. Exhale, push up. Inhale. Inhale up. Push up through the legs. Let's actually do one more. I said that originally this was to be done in back traction as well. So thumbs into the groin creases. Keep them there, right at the hips. One round of Agni Sar. Let's do it slow. And then push to come up. Yes. All right. Sun salutations. Let's do them like we did before. Push a little of this out of the way. Now I have fewer cats. All right, sun salutations. Come up to the top of the mat, and then we'll work some B series with a few different vignettes. Looks like we've got, how much are in here? 3 vignettes. All right, let's do some sun salutations. We'll do a round of 3. Inhale, feet are hip distance, arms reach up. Wrap the shoulders, tuck the tail, push down through feet. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, lunge, step left leg back and knee down. Pat the knee with your mat flipped over if you're on a hard surface. Reach arms up. I'm not, so I'm not. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. Come down to the knees, draw the shoulder heads back. Wrap the shoulders, tuck the tail, lower to the floor. Slide hands forward, point toes straight back, low cobra. Inhale, lengthen through chest to come forward, neck relax. Tuck tail, reach through legs. Lower down. Move hands back into shoulders, downward facing dog. You can come up through table, right? Table to dog. Inhale, step left foot forward, right knee down. Again, pad knee. Point toes straight back, reach arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, step forward and fold. Let go in the neck. Inhale, reach around to come up, hands to heart. You're rounding if you do not have bone density issues. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Step knee right foot back, knee down, reach arms up, low lunge. Hands to floor, step back, plank pose. Exhale, to the knees or full chaturanga to the floor, low cobra, inhale. Lengthen through chest to come up. Again, curl pubic bone into the floor. Reach through the legs behind you. Find that reach. Lower down, hands under shoulders, up to the knees or downward facing dog, straight up. You pick. What's the right move? What do you believe? Inhale, step the right foot forward, left knee down. Reach arms up, and what your mind believes may be different from what your body wants. Check those, bring them into alignment. Step forward and fold. Inhale, round or reach, come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach arms up. Keep going at your own pace. B series. Step to the front of your mat. Make sure your props are around you that you might need. And I'm going to go ahead and end this live, so I'm going to start a new one. So that way we can start another one. All right. Nah, maybe, maybe not. All right. Okay. All right. I don't know how we do this when... Okay, well, maybe we won't do that. Not a problem. All right, so let's just keep going with what we're doing. Coming into B series. Feet come to hip distance, or you can bring them together for chair. Inhale, sit hips way back. Or again, we're creating space in the core. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step or hop back. Plank pose. There will be 3 poses in these vignettes today. Inhale, cobra pose. Inhale to come up, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale to come up, curl the pubic bone against the floor, and then shift hips back. Grab your prop, whatever that rolled up prop is going to be. I'm also going to use a block between my ankles and feet, because again, that's a therapeutic move for me. Not necessary for you, but you can if you want. It just gives me that reaching through the legs. The block, it gives my legs something to hold on to. It creates a different intelligence in the lower parts of my legs. Low cobra over or roll. Inhale to come up. So the hands move forward of shoulders, coming up in chest. Curl pubic bone around the roll and squeeze the block. If you're using one, inhale, breathe into upper back, upper chest. Exhale, curl pubic bone around the roll. Let the roll move into the belly, so don't resist it. Squeeze the block if you're using it. One more like that. Inhale, stay open and broad in chest. Exhale, curl pubic bone around the roll. Squeeze the prop if you're using it against the shins, ankles, and then lower down. And just pause here for a moment, feeling the roll move into the belly. Can you relax the belly and let the roll be enveloped by the belly? See what happens when you just let go. Let go that you believe this roll is going to hurt your body. But if you are in any pain, real pain, and discern what that is, whether it's something letting go or it's something that's really like hurting you. Notice how the pain will actually, whatever discomfort is being experienced will subside the more you let go in the muscles of the abdominal space. Push off the roll if you haven't already. Come to hands and knees, move props out of the way. Push up, downward facing dog. All right, where are we headed? Could have looked. All right, warrior 2 with kite hawk. Step the left foot forward, feet of warrior two. Arms move out to the side, palms down. Anchor into the legs, inhale. Turn palms up to the ceiling. And then exhale, roll the palms to the opposite direction. Inhale. Open up. And keep going. Anchoring into the legs, find that foundation to get curious about what you can do in the upper body, what the upper body is doing, so you can check in and create some freedom with your breath. All right, I don't have my glasses on, so where are we? Extended warrior with chest opener. So yeah, bring your left forearm on the floor, palm up. Reach right arm to ceiling, and then let the arm lower to the line of the shoulder and then roll open. I'm only going to go, I'm not actually not doing that on this side. As you know, I'm working with injury. So instead of working against the injury and resisting, oh, well, I have an injury, so I can't do X, Y, and Z, I explored what I could do, and then I'm going to stay where it can work, intelligently, projectively. Release. Lower the right arm, come down to back knee, and then heel toe, left foot across the mat for pigeon. Lengthen back to the back leg. You might believe that the back leg needs to be straight, but that makes the front knee be bent. I want your front knee to be at a 90-degree angle, shin parallel with front of mat. That may mean that you've got to take a prop and shift it under your opposite hip, so under the left hip in this instance, which is what I need to do to maintain that alignment. The back knee can be quite bent still, and that's fine. Find the support that you need. All right. Pigeon, no fold. So stay up. You might want to take props to keep a good alignment, to keep an open, broad chest here. You might believe that props are cheats. They're not. They're ways to help the body learn the pose, rather than throw the body into compensation patterns where nothing is learned, where you're just doing the same old shit. And let go. Step back, plank pose, inhale. And then lower down. Come on to hands and knees. Cobra over a roll. So the option is to have the hands under the shoulders in cobra rather than the forward hand position that is low cobra. Pick what works best for you. I'm going to work with the hands under the shoulders, I think. Low cobras just as well. And you may come up a little higher in the chest, but the point is to continue to curl the pubic bone around the roll and let the roll into the belly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, curl the pubic bone around the roll. Lengthen forward with chest. Let head hang and relax. Again, you notice I'm using my block. That just helps me. You don't need to use the block. How much space can you create between the top crest of the back pelvis and the back low ribs? Curl the pubic bone around the roll to see. Release over the roll. Pause for a moment. And see if the roll is able to move in a little bit more. Downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Step the right foot forward, feet of warrior two. So my back will be to you here. So you see you've got the different move. Inhale. Kite hawk, palms up. And exhale, palms turn the opposite direction. Breathe spaciousness into the body. Where do you need to support yourself so you can breathe that space? Extended warrior variation with chest opener. Inhale, right arm, forearm to thigh. Left arm reaches up, down, and then back. It's not a huge move. Pigeon pose. Inhale. Rotate the left arm down, lower left knee down, heel toe mat, foot across mat. You might need a prop here under right hip. Right shin, make it parallel to the front of your mat, no matter whether you've got to bend that back knee to do that. Pigeon no fold. Inhale, staying up in the chest. Feet are active. Calves are turned on. And what can you do here to create that space, that opening of the back pelvis, the top of the sacrum away from you and the chest lifting up, ribs moving away from that pelvis. And release. Prelude to wave dancer. So come onto hands and knees. Grab whatever rolled prop you're using in the tummy and place it on the floor in front of you. I am not going to use the block here because Prelude to Wave Dancer isn't with a block, but I normally, no matter what, just use the block, as we've discussed. So come on the roll, and I want you to see this without the extras. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, push the belly forward into the roll. And then exhale, lower down. Curl pubic bone around the roll. Inhale. Push belly forward into the roll. You can hear that strains my voice, right? Exhale, curl the pubic bone around the roll. Now I'm going to grab the block just because I need it, but I wanted you to see it without. The legs needed to probably be more active than what I was doing. So engage your legs differently, all right? Definitely, let's all do it on these next couple of rounds. Inhale. Push belly forward, so you're kind of like a teeter-totter. Exhale, curl pubic bone around the roll, reach back to the legs. Inhale, push belly forward. Hands stay on the floor to control the descent as you curl pubic bone. So right, that support system. Downward facing dog. All right, warrior one with brain cradle. Inhale, step left foot forward, pivot right heel down. Push through the back heel, that inner edge of back heel, particularly to the outer edge, to come up. That'll stabilize that right leg for you, even if you're on such a wiggly surface as I. Interlace hands at the base of the skull. So part of the reason I went through that at the abs is because I want you to do that here, reaching elbows forward and up, pushing back through the back leg. With every exhale, wrap the shoulders forward to the chest, reach elbows forward and up. Neck stays relaxed. Using the hands to traction the head away from the shoulders. Stabilizing through the legs so that can happen. Twisting triangle. Inhale to release arms. Not twisting triangle, twisting warrior. Bring right forearm onto the thigh. Make a fist. Your elbow can be at 90 degrees. Plant the left palm around right fist. Push back through the legs. Create that space by pushing back through the legs and not shoving the shoulder forward. Like relaxing the shoulder, wrapping that shoulder. The right shoulder, that is. If you have further to go, you can bring the right elbow outside left knee. Nip him out of the pose, unwind, lower right knee to floor. Pigeon, grabbing back ankle. Set your pigeon up. You can take the prop underneath that left hip if you like. Reaching back to the leg. Now, you can stay here with the left hand on a prop, bending the right knee, flexing through the calf and foot. Pulling that right hip around, like don't let it like travel back. Mine wants to, that's part of the injury I'm dealing with, but I'm working with that. That's a belief system that doesn't work for me, right? My hip believes it needs to go back but it's not okay for my back. If you have further to go, reach back to grab the ankle on the inside or outside. I like the inside grab for me. Reaching back with that foot into ankle. And release. All right, prelude to wave dancer. Actually working stage 3. Hi, Nesper. Step back into plank pose. Inhale. And then exhale, lower down to the knees of the tummy. I'm going to the tummy because I'm looking around for what I need. All right, so prelude to wave dancer stage 3. So we actually do use the block for this, so grab your block. Lower onto the block, the prop that's in your tummy, hands under shoulders. Squeeze onto the block. Inhale, push belly forward into the roll. And then exhale, let the hands lift up and curl the pubic bone around the roll, squeeze the prop. Hands to floor, inhale. Actually, the hands are off the floor on the inhale. Push the belly forward into the prop. And then hands lower down. Exhale, curl pubic bone around prop. Squeeze the block behind. Inhale, hands off floor slightly if you want. Push belly forward. Exhale, wrap pubic bone around the roll. Squeeze, block. Do that one more time. Inhale. Push belly forward. And exhale, wrap. Squeeze, block. Push off the roll, hands and knees. Move your breaths. Downward facing dog. It's hard because it's teaching your muscles to go in the way that they don't feel comfortable going because of sitting and stuff. Push to the back heel to come up, warrior one, with brain cradle. Interlace hands at the base of skull. Twisting warrior. Lower left forearm onto thigh, make a fist. Cup it with right palm. The elbow can go outside the knee. If you want. And if that feels like a breathable, supportable move, one that feels believable in your body. Supportable, sustainable. Or maybe you have faith that you can get there. That's good too. As long as it's faith and it brings you joy. Pigeon. Unwind, lower the back knee. Heel toe, right foot across the mat. You come onto right hip. Pigeon, grabbing the back foot. You can take a block to stay up in the chest. Right hand on block. Inhale, bend left knee. Maybe both hands are on a block. Maybe you reach back and grab the ankle. Both legs are active. The front shin as much as the back. Pushing the back leg away. Pushing that outside edge of right foot against mat. Coming up to the edge and breathing space rather than pushing. Have faith that your breath will get you there. Your spirit. And release. Step back, downward facing dog. Wrap shoulders and come on to hands and knees. All right, wave dancer, full on. Or not. You've got two other options to practice. Go for those if that's more believable. And ones you feel pretty happy doing. Wave dancer being what is, but hey, wave dancer is actually a pretty happy pose. And this is where we get to see it. All right. So hands stay off the ground for all parts. Inhale, push belly forward into the roll. Exhale, curl pubic bone around, roll lower down. Inhale, push belly against roll. Exhale, curl pubic bone around, roll, squeeze the block lower down. Keep curling, keep curling, keep curling. Do 3 more. And you can bounce around. And that's where it gets fun. Like we never push our bellies forward unless you're a baby. Lower down. Relax the shoulders. Let the belly curl around the roll. Hug onto the block if that helps. Keep the legs engaged. Something's letting go on my left hip. Hooray! All right, come off the roll. I'm telling you, these are really therapeutic. They're really weird as fuck move, but I'm telling you. Awesome. All right, so lunge. Heel to the butt. Push back into downward facing dog for a moment. Take a breath in. And then exhale out. Without doing weird stuff to your head like I just did. Lunge, step left foot forward, bring right knee to the floor. Again, pad your knee if you're on a hard surface. I highly recommend that, okay? If you're on the softy surface like I've got. Makes it a little harder to balance, but it is a little nicer on the knee. Bring left forearm onto thigh, palm up, bend right knee, and then reach back as though you could grab the ankle. Maybe you can. Maybe you can even wrap fingertips around the ankles. They're pointing down towards the knee. And the elbow is pointing straight up and back. Like I said, my right hip wants to roll open. Not awesome alignment for anybody. Well, that's not true. There's always somebody who that might be right for. We're all put together different. But the important part is that you're doing your practice for you. I'm just giving you some guidance. Feel your way in. And explore what you believe. See if it's even true anymore. And release. Lower that foot down. Pigeon. Grabbing the ankle with your one hand or both hands. Let's give that a try. Shoulders should be warmed up for it by now. Find your pigeon setup that's aligned and supportive. You can work with the blocks. Remember, inhale, reach back to grab the ankle. I'm going to go ahead and try with both hands. I got it. Not doing too many weird things to other parts of my body. Ankles pushing away. Again, don't let the low back collapse. Find that space between the top rim of the sacrum and the low back ribs. Curling pubic bone forward helps. And let that go. Pigeon twist thigh. Inhale, reach up through the right arm. Right leg moves back. Exhale, twist to the thigh. You can come on to with your hands outside the thigh. So you see it from this side. You'll see it differently when we move to the other side. You can come down to forearms. And walk hands around. Inhale. All right, bow. One arm, one leg. Inhale, step back into plank pose. There we go. Lower down to the knees. Right, and do I believe I can't take time in a pose? Like, what's that about, right? You can totally take time in a pose. Come on to a roll. So see, I took like a moment. I was like, this isn't really feeling, I'm not feeling this plank. So I took a second. And then my plank was there. All right, bow one arm, one leg. Inhale. Have the hand in a low cobra position. Bend right knee, reach back, grab ankle. Maybe you don't do that. Maybe hands are on the floor and you're just bending the ankle, reaching back through thigh bones, curling pubic bone around the roll, letting the belly descend. That might be the better move for you. and release. Let's do the other side. Push up, downward facing dog. Lunge, heel to butt. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Bring left knee to the floor. Pad the knee if you're on that hard surface. Right forearm on thigh, palm up. Reach back. All right, let that go. Pigeon, grabbing the ankle with one or both hands. Move into your pigeon position. And staying up in the chest, maybe just bending the knee again. Reaching back with one or both hands. Breathing through the transitions. I'll never forget when Anna Forrest said that to me like 5 years ago. If you breathe through the transitions from poses to poses on the mat, you're doing that in your life. You've learned to do that. And you know what you believe and is the right move for you whenever you move into a new position, new role, new way of doing things. And release. Go over a roll. One arm, one leg. Come on to the roll. Right arm forward. Low cobra position. Left knee bent. Grab ankle if you're able. Don't if you're not. Believe that you will another day. And believe that it's actually okay if you never do. Like, this is a beautiful pose, right? Nothing wrong with that. Lower down. Stay on the belly for frog over a roll. I'm just going to lift up because I want to prop. You might too. If you're on a hard surface, you're going to need to pad the knee by placing a blanket out to the right side. You'll switch it up when you do the other side. So half frog over a roll. Lower over the roll like we've been doing this entire game. Hands can just rest elbows under shoulders. Draw the bottom knee up. I don't need my blanket because I'm on a carpet today, right? And I have my head resting on a block because that feels good, although that feels like not the right height, so I'm going to use my blanket instead. And actually none of that feels good. So I'm going to take my hands, and this is also a move, and this feels like a lot better to me. This feels like something I can let the belly move into. You can find your way into your pose. Now, I can't remember in Forrest Yoga because I also teach yin. So I don't remember how active we are with the right leg here, but I think we actually do need to maintain some activity. I'm feeling like this is right. Curling the pubic bone around the roll like we've been doing in all of the moves. Clear out the low back. Come out of the pose, straighten the right leg, and move to the other side, moving the blanket if you need to pad under the left knee. And this is half frog, by the way. If I said it was frog, it's actually half frog. A little bit of engagement in the left leg, excuse me, right leg too, actually. You can see, if you're pausing to watch this, that I have my right leg slightly engaged. Straighten the leg to come out of the pose. Draw hands under shoulders. Push up onto hands and knees. Half lotus, shin bound, spinal twist. This was actually a pose that like all the Forrest, I should put my socks on. All the Forrest Yogis were doing on Instagram like last week or something like that. No, 2 days ago. So if you saw it, hooray, let's do it. I'll actually cue it. That rhymed. All right, let me grab some tea. That's actually a tortilla, like warmer. You put it like in the microwave. Anyway, you'll maybe use a strap for this, so I will cue that. Take the left ankle on top of right thigh. Actually, you do need a strap for this, although you might not need one, right? Strap up the right ankle, the left ankle. Just make a loop. And then draw the left hand behind the back. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And then exhale. Grab the inner right foot and turn towards left side. Stay lifted in the chest. Relax the neck, which I like. Go for creating that space between the top crest of the sacrum and the low back ribs. Release. Change sides. Right ankle on top of left thigh. Strap up left ankle. Move the strap to the other side of the body. Right arm reaches behind the back to catch the strap. Inhale, left arm up. And then exhale, grab the inside edge of the left foot. If you don't need the strap, you can just grab the ankle. That's fine. Start by choosing the path of least resistance. Investigate that and see if there is farther to go. There's some room to change. Do something different. there might not be. To come out of the pose, unwind, and sit up. Let's do some Shavasana. Get warm, get comfortable, do what you need to find those places of comfort. Putting on extra clothing might be the thing. Quieting your room. I'll set the timer for 5 minutes. You can stay longer if you want. Not if you don't. Right? Take your Shavasana later if you need to, but take it. Right? You can work in seated meditation as well. I did mine beforehand, so there's that. So, for later. All right. I will continue to work in chest opener as I've done. You come into the position that's correct for you. If you're working in a chest opening position with props, I use my rolled up mat between my shoulder blades and then a block to support my head. The cork block I like because, like I said, my right hip likes to open out in a way that's not beneficial. So I'll use it to support keeping my right leg in place. You may have two, and that helps you feel secure. Do what's correct for you. Those are some options. All right. Alexa, set a meditation timer for 5 minutes. Actually, ours is called Echo. Echo, set a meditation timer 5 minutes.
Meditation timer, 5 minutes, starting now. Your meditation timer is done.
Echo, turn off meditation timer. Come out of the pose. Bend both knees, plant feet on the floor. Roll off the prop carefully if you're using props. And roll to one side. Push against the floor with both hands to come up, and then use a free hand to pick up the head. Neck relaxed. Continue to check in on your beliefs today. Not as much as you want. You should do that all the time. Right? What are your ethics? What are your belief systems? Why? That's actually one of the exercises we do when we take Forrest teacher training. It's one of the things to revisit the ethics and revisit them frequently. Your belief systems. What still is true? Why? Where's the possibility of change? Namaste. And we'll just enter the password to turn off the video.